Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
J360 Radio.
Hey, what's going on, J360 Legion? Welcome to another J360 Mini Bite, hosted by J.M. Brady, and I am your host, J.M. Brady. So let's get into it. So, how you all doing? I hope well. Oh man, we're finally getting back in the swing of things. It's a new week and a new slot of J360 productions coming your way, and we're going to start off with the Mini Bite. Now, today was a pretty interesting day, right? In addition to receiving nothing but nonstop notifications on where the coronavirus is, because it's on a statewide tour now, it's always people on there talking about their fear and talking about, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, it's really hurting people. It's scarring the inner tissues. It's just ruining everything. We're in a pandemic. Oh my God. And Trump's handling it horribly. But let's look at it in comparison to how Obama handled pandemics. And I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, wow. Because, see, I get stuff from the Newsbreak app. And, you know, it's a little too much going on, man. Things are starting to get hot in Dover, Delaware for some reason. And I don't mean in the good way. I mean, like, you know, gun violence. But when you look over at, this with the coronavirus and everything, it's like nothing but bad news, man. I guess if it bleeds, it reads, man. And then you have to understand, like I said last time, there's multiple different outbreaks out here. We still haven't found a cure for that super flu. There's like 12,000 people died from that super flu alone. Whereas with the coronavirus, you know, it's getting there. I mean, then a lot of people are out there doing memes, and some of those memes are pretty funny, I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing. You see, when you knew like something like this was going to happen, do you panic? Is that a good time to break out into hives and just start saying, oh, you know, I'm so scared for my life. I'm afraid to die. Those are some things that, you know, you definitely don't have in common with me. Oh, and I've also found out that the people at my day job, well, the management at my day job isn't inept. They're woefully incompetent, man. I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, I come in early, so I should have the grounds to leave early, you would think. But you see, for some reason, I guess my manager is really that much of a man-child because he cannot handle it at all. He's sitting there breaking out in hives because me and the morning crew, you know, we leave at our certain time, which we do because we all clock in 9 minutes early. And he's sitting over there having a coronary about it. But at the same time, usually when I see my night associates, right, I always have it set up for them to go ahead and go to work. And then not only that, there's extra manpower there. Because there's like two of them, whereas it's me in the morning. And you see, when I got my evaluation from my would-be supervisor, he's stupid too. I sat there, and I had a lot of good press now. I had a lot of good motivational speeches and all that other stuff he was doing. I wasn't really paying attention. But then I saw, like, you know, when you have an evaluation, you have the negatives where you got to build upon and stuff like that. And you see there really were no negatives because my job is, like, stupidly easy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with even half a brain could do my job. But that's why it's just a go-nowhere day job, you know? And you see, he was like, oh, you know, this is how we got to stock them now. It has to be done this certain way. And then I thought about it. I was like, this isn't even a work smarter kind of principle. Because what it is that every so often you have to stock the box and then you have to go all the way to the back, bring out another box. Have to go ahead instead of just stacking them all and doing it smartly. You know what I mean? Because allegedly there's a category thing and we have to meet that quota, or he gets emails all the time from corporate and corporate doesn't know what the hell's going on. I've noticed this ever since I started working at various different jobs. There's always some jackass behind a desk. Have you noticed that? Like, see, the thing about it is with me, I pretty much go ahead and do what I got to do. I don't care I really don't care, and I don't mind working, but it's always that one person that's either in a desk or probably not relevant at all has to find a way to be relevant by trying to make it complicated for the people that do the job. I don't even care about who's lazy or not because I know I'm not. And then I look at my would-be supervisor and I see that I really have no respect for him, and I damn sure have no respect for the management there either. And I show it in various forms. And then he was like, well, Jay, if I noted that you didn't care, you would have been gone. I'll be like, motherfucker. There I go. I'm like, if you're the end-all, be-all, I can understand that, but I still wouldn't care. I'd still throw my middle finger up and look you in the eye. And the truth is this. If I don't care, I'm not going to say it to you. I'm going to show it. And the thing is, you can't fire me without cause. He's like, oh, believe me, there's cause. I let a lot of things slide. I'm like, so that means that if somebody else did something, you would try to blame it on me? Do you not know how unethical that is? I can go ahead and talk to that number too, bro. You, me, home office, and everybody will have a little powwow. And at the end of the day, I'm still getting paid for it. Oh, yes. See, one way or another, the J-Man knows how to play the game. And I'm willing to fight anybody. So, yeah, that's just how that goes. But you see what the whole example about that day job is, once again, it's a new year and these people are coming up with new techniques to try to ruin somebody's livelihood. And you can't ruin my livelihood because reasons. Yeah, that whole J360 Productions thing and everything else. Yeah, bro, I'm looking pretty good on that side too. So it's like, one way or another, that job is not my future, much like anything else. I remember the first day I went into that job, and I looked around at everything. Wouldn't you believe that I ran back out and reapplied to college? You darn right, because there ain't no future in that. I mean, to do what I do, I can understand, like, if you're, like, starting out or whatever, and you want to go ahead and chase bread, there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with jumping into any retail job out there. Just understand this. The way they go about doing things, there's no future in it. So you're going to have to just figure out a way, or like a podcast that I listened to called The Retail Rant, and of course, Miserable Retail Slave. You should always have like an escape pod ready for you. You know what I mean? You should always have like plenty of money in the bank. That way so you don't rely on stuff too much. Now, another thing is, of course, you have insurance and you have various types of that. And some of y'all have mortgages and buying homes and things. Now, if you have goals like that going on, yeah, I understand. That's why, you work hard to keep it and maintain it. But I don't know why people in their infinite wisdom or endless stupidity have the nerve to try to make stuff harder for you. Instead of just making it like, reasonable or hearing what somebody else has to say. And then you got a lot of people out there, they can't handle somebody else's opinion, let alone somebody else's facts. And all I ever do is hit them with facts. I'm like this. I'm not going out of my way to be malicious, but I can be. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is that, I don't see myself being there for far too long. Hell, I don't even see myself living in the state of Delaware for too long. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not. Because I got to go where I need to go. And I'm looking west. And the truth is that, working to get there. And there's always a job. So I don't know why the hell people sit there and try to bog down and project all their fears and stuff like that, and the people who work in grocery stores or warehouses or whatever, you see, those people are there because they have goals. And not only that, you should make it accessible. You should go ahead and be outreaching. And if you are a leader, work with your staff. Don't just sit at a desk and be lazy and just be a complete waste of space and a load. Because we already have enough loads on us anyway. And it's called the merchandise and the stock. And it's not hard to do any of these jobs entirely. But it's always because somebody has a rule of standards and certain vague statements. And basically they just don't like you. And they're doing what they can to try to push you out. And you see, like I said, one day there's going to be a day where they'll get their wish. My supervisor will be on the floor. My knuckles will be like somewhat swollen because I didn't hold back at all. And I'll be looking right down at him and I'll be like, let's see when the court date's going to be. and the thing is that, I use that figuratively. But if it actually happens though, keep in mind, I'll throw my phone to somebody so they can film it. And yeah, I know it'll be evidence, but here's the thing. For that few minutes, I felt really damn good. But at the end of the day, when you got something like that going on at your day job, you know that there's no future in it, and you know that there's a chance to leave, and you know you always have a choice. And like I say, everything changes. Ascension is the goal. And by May, this is in the back mirror, pal. I won't even look in this direction anymore. And the truth is that I've always prepared for it. Now, when it comes to the coronavirus, on the other hand, same thing. You know, everybody's panicking about it because, yeah, that's good for your immune system. This virus affects your immune system and your breathing, and they tell you not to stress out and not to panic, but they go ahead and throw all this other stuff to make you stress out and panic. You see how it contradicts each other, and it really breaks it down to the point where it's like, how exactly are you going to survive this? You know, one way or another. If it's like a plague or whatever, I always say this. I had a good run. I managed to go ahead and build J360 Productions. I managed to hold it down and give you guys some credible content and something to shoot for. Been motivational. Been disciplined enough. Still have places to go and things to do. Not ashamed of it, you know? And I'm not afraid to die because I know one day all this is going to be over. Everything is going to be over. And what Monty Python tells you is this. Always look on the bright side of life because every damn thing else is a joke. And the last laugh is always on you. So, you know, at the end of the day, my name is Jay, not L. My name is Jay. So when I take, you know, if there's anything else that I need to do, I don't take the L and just roll around in it and just get sad and just be like, nobody likes me. My life's falling apart. I'm not going to be anything great. My executive life is nothing. Oh, yeah. Man, I'll face all this stuff with a grin. I mean, if you think about it, that's all I ever do. Like, you've seen my avatar before. There's a reason why there's a mischievous smirk right there. And I actually do it in real life a lot. But it's just wild, man. It's just amazing how people will go so far to try to make you panic. And it's either from the information you get on the daily, or it's from where you work at. And it's a shame. Whereas, like, at the end of the day, you're just putting your stuff in. You're just trying to live. You're building a living so that you can live. And if you do get sick, and there's a lot of incurable diseases out there, and then there could be a whole complication of multiple different diseases, you just have to find a way to just look at this stuff and say, well, this is it. Prop my feet up, get my last smoke in or whatever, even though I don't condone smoking. And then you're in a box. Well, some of y'all are in a box. Some of y'all will go through the cremation phase or whatever. But the thing is this. When it's over, are you going to look back with regret and say, gee, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that? No. And you shouldn't. And those in the J360 Legion, which is a lot of you, should never do that. I mean, if anything, I push you to live life to the fullest. I push you to just look at this stuff and say, you know what? Deep down on the inside, these are people that just aren't going anywhere. And you see, my would-be supervisor, he's always thinking he's on a pedestal higher than anybody. But in real life, he is so far behind. Even the new guy at work that I've trained, because obviously he can't train worth anything. The new guy I trained at work, he's miles ahead of him. And that's pretty much little J-Man there, man. He doing what he got to do. I'm like, damn, I'm proud, man. He's everything that my nephews and nieces are. Because those are some crazy jokers too. And one of these days, I'm going to have to travel to see him. Because old boy got his money together. Just one way or another, just doing what I got to do and marking stuff off day by day. If I got to go look for another job, I will. And I'll be right there working it like I do this one. And there's always a smarter way to do things. And you'll know, like, when it's time to leave a toxic environment. So, as for me, got 2 more months to bring in. Well, I got 2 months and the rest of this month. So, that's not too bad. Just riding it all out. And speaking of which, the graduation run is looking pretty good because I got A's. And I didn't say AIDS, I said A's. Jeez. But outside of that, though, the J-Man show is happening tomorrow. Those of you wondering about the power play, let me tell you something. Oh, it's happening. I went ahead and recorded footage last week. I should have went ahead and let you all know that. But until then, this is the J-Man signing off. You all take it easy. Don't panic. Live your lives. Laters.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.